Kenya and Tanzania, or the Republic of Kenya and the Republic of Tanzania, two bordering countries in East Africa, both in the African Great Lakes region. Both share a lake, a massive lake, Lake Victoria, Africa's biggest lake by area and the world's largest tropical lake. Heck, it's even the world's second biggest freshwater lake by surface area. Kenya also has Lake Turkana, the world's biggest desert lake and biggest alkaline lake. And Tanzania also has Lake Rukwa and borders Lake Tanganyika and Lake Malawi. Lake Tanganyika is the second deepest lake in the world. I could go on and on about the African Great Lakes system, but this video isn't about it. It's about Kenya and Tanzania. But before I get into all these similarities and differences between these two wonderful countries, let's go to the kitchen. This video is sponsored in part by Cook Unity. It was a perfect fit for this channel because
I don't like to cook.
but I also like to eat healthy, and so Cook Unity sends you fresh, healthy food. Cook Unity is the first chef-to-consumer platform delivering freshly prepared, pre-selected meals right to your door weekly. Cook Unity chefs offer up a wide range of meals with over 7 different dietary preference filters, including vegan, paleo, and gluten-free options. Meals are delivered fully cooked, so all you have to do is heat them up. No more cleanup and meal planning. The chefs cook meals with real ingredients, man. Nothing artificial. With humanely raised meat and organic ingredients whenever possible. Let's try it out. Pretty good. It's really moist. Today I have 3, 2 for my daughters and 1 for myself. We had Chris Rattel's Southern Fried Chicken with spicy honey, David Adon's garlic seared shrimp with citrus reduction, and Nahika Hillary's creamy rasta pasta with jerk shrimp. It was also freaking good. The subscription is super flexible and you can pause, skip weeks, or cancel at any time. Go to cookunity.com/MrBeat or just go to the link in the description. Use code MrBeat50 to get 50% off your first order of meals so you can try Cook Unity out for yourself. Okay, third time's a charm. Kenya and Tanzania, the two most stereotypical African countries. Thanks, The Lion King. Oh, speaking of The Lion King, Hell's Gate National Park in Kenya inspired the setting of the film. Some of Disney's animators actually went there before they began making the movie. Anyway, the two countries are among the most populous countries in Africa. That said, Tanzania has more people and is growing at a faster rate. If the two countries combined, they'd be the third most populous country in Africa. Both border the Indian Ocean. And yes, both have islands off the coast, but Tanzania has many more. Most notably, there are the islands of Zanzibar, a province of Tanzania. Nearly 1.9 million Tanzanians live on its 2 biggest islands. More on Zanzibar in a bit though. There are also lake islands, like the extremely crowded Migingo Island, located in Lake Victoria. At one point, it was the world's second most congested island, and while it's part of Kenya, Uganda used to also claim it. This dispute is why it became so crowded in the first place. Both Kenya and Tanzania have diverse climates. You've got the swampy East African mangroves up and down the coast of both. Oh, a mangrove is just like a man in a grove. Duh. But seriously, a mangrove is a shrub or tree that grows in extremely salty water, mainly in coastal waters. Sorry to get salty there. You've got the Great Rift Valley, which runs through the central and western portions of both. In between the mountains and coasts, there are grasslands, some hilly, some more flat. Most of the mountains in Kenya are in the western portion of the country, and most of the mountains in Tanzania are in the north-central portion. Both have tropical climates near the coasts, but steppes further inland that are much drier. Kenya has rainforests in its western edge, and Tanzania has rainforests rainforests in its northwestern portion. Both have rainy seasons and dry seasons. Often flooding or droughts are the biggest natural disasters, but both also have active volcanoes and both can get earthquakes. While the earthquakes historically haven't been as bad in Tanzania, residents there still have to worry about cyclones each year. Both are extremely ethnically diverse. There are over 100 distinct ethnic groups within each country's borders. That said, the largest ethnic groups in Kenya are the Kikuyu, Luya, Kalenjin, Luo, and Kamba. The largest ethnic groups in Tanzania are the Sukuma, Nyamwezi, Chaga, and Haya. Residents of both have a similar life expectancy. Both are multilingual, meaning many in both speak multiple languages. Even though there are dozens of different languages spoken in Kenya and Tanzania, the national language of both is Swahili. Swahili is a mostly Bantu-based hybrid language that several different ethnic groups started using several hundred years ago. Apparently, Kenyan Swahili is more blunt and to the point compared to Tanzanian Swahili, which is more polite sounding. English is also a commonly spoken language in both countries, so you might be understanding me right now if you're from one of the two countries. While both countries are technically republics, according to the organization Freedom House, both are classified as just partly free due to their citizens having less rights and civil liberties compared to most other countries. Both have lots of economic freedom compared to most other African countries. Tourism is huge in both. Often when tourists from Asia, Australia, Europe, and the Americas choose to visit the continent of Africa, they end up going to either Tanzania or Kenya. More specifically, lots of international tourists visit both countries to go on safaris or organized expeditions to check out or sometimes hunt wild animals. The governments of both have less debt compared to most other countries. Both are members of the East African Federation, a political union that also includes the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and South Sudan. The biggest religion in both is Christianity. The second biggest religion in both is Islam. The rest of the residents mostly practice various folk religions. Both have pretty solid religious freedom. Both are two of the world's biggest coffee and tea producers. In fact, more tea comes out of Kenya than any other country in the world other than the two most populous countries, India and China. Ugali is a common food eaten in both countries. Many of the world's most important ancient hominid fossils have been found in Kenya and Tanzania. Are you a human being? I'm a human being. I assume you are too. Well, both are where some of the earliest human beings ever lived. Yeah. Well, we might as well get into some history now. You think? Both are among the oldest continuously inhabited areas on the planet. The earliest humans were likely in modern-day Kenya before Tanzania, though. For tens of thousands of years, hunter-gatherers traveled around this area. Around 10,000 to 12,000 years ago, the Cushitic people migrated to modern-day Kenya, and many started farming. They eventually made their way to modern-day Tanzania. Nilotic-speaking people and their livestock came to modern-day Kenya about 2,500 years ago and made their way to modern-day Tanzania around 1,500 years ago. This included the Maasai, which is perhaps the most well-known ethnic group in Tanzania and Kenya today to outsiders. By the medieval period, Bantu-speaking farmers had made their way to the area, mostly along the coasts. Also by this time, city-states in the area had established trading partnerships with a diverse group of Arabs as well as Persians coming from the north. Persians ruled over the Kilwa Sultanate from about 957 to 1513. Not much is known about the Kilwa Sultanate, but we do know it was a hub of international trade, including, unfortunately, the slave trade. This constant interaction led to an interesting mix of cultures in the area. In fact, that's how the aforementioned Swahili language got started. It's like a mix of Bantu languages, Arabic, English, Portuguese, Hindustani, among others. Wait, English, Portuguese, and Hindustani? Well, yeah. Some traders came from as far away as Europe and South Asia. Beginning in the 1400s, more and more Portuguese sailors made their way to the area for trade. The German Empire actually controlled the aforementioned Zanzibar and modern-day Tanzania for a short period in the 1800s as part of the scramble for Africa. Meanwhile, Zanzibar became the Sultanate of Zanzibar. That was where the shortest recorded war in history took place, the Anglo-Zanzibar War, which lasted just between 38 and 45 minutes on August 27th, 1896. Britain won, and soon it also gained control from the Germans of pretty much all of modern-day Tanzania. They established Tanganyika territory. The British also took over modern-day Kenya, calling it British East Africa. After World War I, it became Kenya Colony. As the British built railroads in the area, many immigrants from India came over to help with construction. Flash forward to the 1960s when decolonization was in style all across the continent. The British gave up control of Tanganyika territory and it became a democratic republic. The British also gave up control of Kenya Colony, but only after the Mau Mau Rebellion, an 8-year war that led to the deaths of tens of thousands of rebels. After the Zanzibar Revolution, Zanzibar became independent. The leader of that revolution, Abed Amani Karume, was like, we should join up with Tanganyika. And Tanganyika's president, Julius Nyerere, was like, heck yeah. So the two became one country and they combined the names of the two countries. Tanganyika plus Zanzibar equals Tanzania. See? To this day, though, Zanzibar has its own government that mostly gets to govern outside of Tanzania's authority. How about that? After that, the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union heavily influenced both Kenya and Tanzania. Kenya was more on the side of the United States and a market economy. Tanzania was generally more influenced by the Soviet Union and favored more of a command economy. From 1978 to 1979, Tanzania fought a war with Uganda, and Kenya stayed completely out of it. The Uganda-Tanzania War, as it's now known, devastated both countries. Even though Tanzania won, it crippled their already fragile economy. In 1983, Kenya and Tanzania established diplomatic ties, and the two countries have been friends ever since. Today, both have more market-based economies, which is probably why both have two of the quickest growing economies in the world. Seriously, they are exciting places to watch right now. The literacy rate is similar in both. Both have a younger population than most of the rest of the world. That said, the median age is slightly higher in Kenya. You have to be at least 18 years old in both countries to purchase alcohol, but there's no drinking age in both. So how about some differences between the two countries? I'm sure you're curious about that. First of all, Tanzania is around 1.6 times bigger than Kenya in terms of land area. And yep, it has more coastline. Kenya has a higher population density, while Tanzania's economy heavily relies on farming. Other industries there include mining, manufacturing, and energy. Farming is also big in Kenya, but other industries there include oil refining, cement, and also manufacturing. Kenya has better developed infrastructure. More Kenyans are connected to the internet. Tanzania borders more countries. In addition to Kenya, it borders Mozambique, Malawi, Zambia, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Burundi, Rwanda, and Uganda. In addition to Tanzania, Kenya borders Uganda, South Sudan, Ethiopia, and Somalia. Kenya and South Sudan both claim this sparsely settled territory, the Elemi Triangle. Tanzania's largest city, Dar es Salaam, is much bigger than Kenya's largest city, Nairobi, at least according to metro population. Both have served as the country's capital city, but since 1996, Dodoma has been the capital of Tanzania. Crazily enough, Nairobi National Park is literally just outside of Nairobi, which is why you get pictures like this and this. The equator, or that magical imaginary circle that goes around the Earth's surface to divide it into two hemispheres, goes right through Kenya. According to the World Happiness Report, residents of Kenya are generally happier than residents of Tanzania. Perhaps one reason why is because Kenya generally has a lower cost of living, especially due to housing costs being so much lower there. Kenyans also generally are more likely to have access to electricity and make more money. Indeed, the poverty rate is much lower in Kenya. But yeah, the poverty rate in both countries is going down pretty much every year. Kenya also has a higher GDP per capita. The longest river in Kenya is the Tana River. The longest river in Tanzania is the Rufiji River. The highest peak in Kenya is Mount Kenya. Is the second highest peak in Africa. That's where Kenya got its name, by the way. Oh yeah? Well, Tanzania has the highest peak in Africa, Mount Kilimanjaro. It's one of the most famous mountains in the world. Mount Kilimanjaro dramatically towers over the landscape, and it's easily one of the most prominent peaks in the world. It's not only the highest mountain in Africa, but the highest single freestanding mountain above sea level on the planet. Now, Tanzania may have it, but it's close to Kenya's border, and I'd argue that the best view of it is in Kenya at Amboseli National Park. If you don't believe me, that's probably because you're not watching me right now. But seriously, look at that, and holy crap, look at that! Amboseli National Park is well known for being the best place in the world to get up close to free-ranging elephants. These elephants nearly went extinct just decades ago, but fortunately have been on the rebound thanks to wildlife conservation efforts by the Kenyan government and the local Maasai people. Tanzania is home to the epic Serengeti region, a vast area of plains that covers an area of more than 30,000 square kilometers and is home to some of the continent's highest concentrations of huge mammals, including lions, giraffes, zebras, hyenas, wildebeest, hippopotamuses, cheetahs, and yes, elephants. Heck, there's even a few rhinos left, even though poachers are still threatening them to a point where they may soon go extinct. Every summer, many of these huge mammals migrate through the Serengeti from Tanzania all the way up to Kenya, part of the biggest mammal migration on Earth. Serengeti National Park in Tanzania and the Masai Mara National Reserve in Kenya, in particular, both are known as key areas along the annual migration of wildebeest and zebras. While both countries are known for their national parks and protected land, around 38% of Tanzania has protected land compared to just 12% in Kenya. Tanzania spends 3.3% of its GDP on education, while Kenya spends 4.8% of its GDP on education. Dang! Kenya has a higher percentage of residents who identify as Christians. Tanzania is divided into 31 regions known as mikoa. Kenya is divided into 47 counties, each capable of making certain laws without having to get permission from the national government. Kenya is where the biggest universal basic income implementation in history is currently underway. If you don't know what universal basic income is, it's basically a welfare program in which citizens get money back directly from the government and they don't have to pay it back.
I deserve free money!
Well, around 20,000 Kenyans in around 200 villages have been receiving funds monthly for the last several years. Apparently, so far, the program has been a smashing success. Kenya is known for its record-setting distance runners. Many of them are actually all from the same tribe, the aforementioned Kalenjin, who live up in the mountains of Kenya. Okay. Tanzania is also known for its record-setting distance runners, okay? Apparently, the locals pronounce Tanzania, and Americans like me mispronounce it all the time.
Our embassies in Kenya and Tanzania.
Ha. That's not how you pronounce it, you dingus. Both border the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Tanzania. Oh yeah. I forgot about that video. I guess I'm the dingus. Anyway, Kenya takes in more refugees than Tanzania. Tanzania is known for bongo flava, a genre of music that mixes reggae, R&B, hip-hop, and Afro beats with the traditional Tanzanian styles of tarab and dansi. Shout out to Diamond Platinums. Kenya's music tends to be more guitar-based with more folky elements. An area of just 14 square kilometers in Tanzania is the only place on Earth where you can find this beautiful blue and purple mineral. Appropriately, it's called tanzanite. In conclusion, Kenyans and Tanzanians have a special bond. They're like brothers. Kenyans often travel to and even move to Tanzania, and Tanzanians often travel to and even move to Kenya. Often when outsiders think of the entire continent of Africa, it's images of Kenya and Tanzania that first come to mind. They are the gateways to the continent after all, and they both have a bright future. So which is better, Tanzania or Kenya? Let me know down below. Also, let me know if there are any two countries you want me to compare for this series. Know what I'm saying? I do love making these videos. It just gives me an excuse to learn a bunch of cool stuff. Oh yeah, this shirt was made in Kenya. Pretty cool.
I got 2 of them.
And now it's time for my monthly shout out to all my Patreon supporters who donate to my channel at least $15 a month. I'm going backwards this time. Thank you to Zachary F. Parker, who provided some of the music for this video, by the way. Waterfort, Thomas Oppenheim, Steve Ison, Steve Bryan, Stacy, Society's Basement, Raquel Jones, Naderade, Oliver E, KZ210QB, Jules Gingras, Justin Love, Joel Serrano Lozada, Jacob Birnbaum, Jack L, Ian Driscoll, Grant Hughes, Frankie O'Connor, Andrew Snyder, Alex Villasenor, Adam Christians. Thank you to Sean Connett, Saul Goodman 1917, Samuel Striz, Sammy, Salty, Robert Candle, Psycho, Patrick Stewart, Pat Iapika, quote, Defender of Communism, Osbers Gaming, Nick Everett, Nicholas Dronsky, Neo R14, Michael Cortez, Joe Cook, Jeremy Dunham, Javier Gloria, Isaiah Warfield, Isabel, Fletch Fick, Empty Machine, Elaine Warwick, Dr. Paul J. Lilly, Derek Williams, Corey Ryman, Christian Fountain, Bill Dowd, Austin Ciros, Anthony Beckett, Andrew B., and Alicia Solberg. Thanks to all my Patreon supporters for donating to my channel, by the way, and thank you for watching.